Hello all, it's James Johnson, aka Sulphurblade, and I am back here with another video, and this time it's going to be about the quote-unquote voter fraud that mainstream media and every propaganda utility source under the sun has quote-unquote debunked or fast-checked or fact-checked to death. But none of them are actually right. So if you look up these voter spikes on YouTube, you will get an overwhelming list of fact checks. AP fact checks, CNN fact checks, NBC fact checks, ABC fact checks. What do we know about all these media organizations? They lie, and they lie, and they lie repeatedly. What did they tell you about the chance that a vaccine could happen before January, when President Trump was campaigning and saying, we will have a vaccine before the end of the year? Trump said we will have a singular vaccine before the end of the year. We now have 4 fucking vaccines that all of these fact-checking sites said was impossible. There's no way it could happen. Not in a million years. No way. Physically impossible. Fact checked. It was lies. Just like this is lies. They're lying about these irregular voter spikes because it's clear as fucking day proof of voter fraud. In fact, you didn't even have to look at these fancy graphs to know that there was voter fraud. So this is Michigan, and this is Wisconsin. If you go back to my own videos, back to election day, you can see in my videos me covering in real fucking time, holy shit, what just happened into Wisconsin? How did 169,000 votes just magically appear at 4:30 in the morning for Joe Biden? Something doesn't smell right. But hey, you know, it didn't happen. But yet, there's videos of it happening on my own YouTube channel. I physically watched it happen in real time. But you know, it's all a myth. Rand Paul tweeted out these graphs and statistics. The very astute and very well respected Rand Paul, who has in the past received bipartisan vote. Yes, he's a Republican, but he's typically one of the Republicans that people on both sides of the aisle says is one of the good guys. One of the people that's out there who's actually trying to make a difference. Who isn't a politician that's there just to line his pocketbook. But hey, Rand Paul is evidently a liar too, just like Trump's a liar, and everybody else who's shown these statistics is a liar, from Steven Crowder, Tim Pool. You know, all alternative media is obviously liars. And all mainstream media, legacy mainstream media, CNN, NBC, ABC, the people we've proven time and time and time again are a big fucking cahoot, a big racket of non-stop liars who take people out of context and twist their words on national TV on a daily fucking basis. they're calling us the liars. But they get it all right because they've fact-checked this, and this isn't real. Fuck off. How about the Bellwether Counties? Hey, below is a list of 10 counties that have always voted for the winner of the presidential election, and they backed Trump this time around. Essex County, Vermont. Hidalgo County, New Mexico. Juneau County, Wisconsin. Ottawa County, Ohio. Sawyer County, Wisconsin. Valencia County, New Mexico. Vigo County, Indiana. Washington County, Maine. Westmoreland County, Virginia. Wood County, Ohio. 10 counties, 10 bellwether counties that all went for Trump. And they've only ever gotten it wrong like once before in the past since Reagan. Here's a list of counties which had voted for a losing candidate only once since 1980, but voted for Trump this time around. Calhoun County, South Carolina, voted against Reagan in 1980. Colton County, South Carolina, voted against Reagan in 1980. Coos County, New Hampshire, voted against George W. Bush in 2004. Marshall County, South Dakota, voted against Bush Sr. in 1988. Sargent County, North Dakota, voted against Bush Sr. in 1988. Val Verde County, Texas, voted against Trump in 2016. That's interesting. You know, you can't make this shit up. This is 2020, right? So we are supposed to believe that Donald Trump got beat by Joe Biden. Now, let's think about this here. Donald Trump got more votes than any other presidential candidate in history if we ignore Joe Biden in this context. If we just showed Donald Trump's popular vote on the TV and took it back in time, everybody would be like, wow, he must have won a landslide. There's no way you could get beaten with that type of popular vote number. It's impossible. No way in hell. But yet, he gets beaten by Joe Biden. Even though Donald Trump got record numbers of the black vote. He got record numbers of the Latino vote. He got record numbers of all of the minority votes in places that didn't cheat. California, New York, places they didn't need to cheat, where they didn't need to fake the vote, where Democrats win legitly, but Trump got record numbers of votes in these places. But somehow, even though Trump got record numbers of votes across just about all of the blue states, in the swing states that ratio magically reversed, something doesn't smell right. Something doesn't pass the smell test there, does it? No. How do you have record numbers of votes in minorities in the blue states, but yet in the states where you should continue that ratio or even increase it because it's not a blue state, it's a swing state, you magically get none of the minorities? Every single black person in Milwaukee votes for Donald Trump? Sorry, doesn't pass the smell test. But hey, what do I know? I'm just some random guy on the internet. According to YouTube, if they attach their usual messages to the videos, I'm just a crackpot. And there's no credible proof of fraud in the election or absentee ballots in general. They're the most secure form of voting that you can imagine. Ignore the crazy lunatic Jaames Johnson and his rants on the internet. Because he obviously doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, shut the fuck up, YouTube. Fuck off. I'm animated today. Sorry, guys. You're just gonna have to deal with my vulgar profanity. Let's take a look at one of the recent lawsuits that have been dropped in Georgia. I believe this one was by Lynn Wood, where he's using Sean Bernard, is that his name? The guy who did all of the vote, the guy who took it upon himself to try to find the truth about our election process. And these are just things he found in Georgia that Lynn Wood is using in his lawsuit in Georgia. Just take a look at those numbers. Illegal ballots. Estimate of the minimum number of absentee ballots requested, which were not requested by the person identified in Georgia's database. So, 20,431 absentee ballots, which were not actually requested. Pretty big number, right? Georgia's margin is less than 20,000. It's like 13,000, I think. That alone could flip Georgia very easily. But there's more. Legal votes not counted. Estimate of the minimum number of absentee ballots that the requester returned but were not counted. So 43,688 Trump absentee ballots apparently just went missing. I don't know. Maybe they're in a ditch somewhere. Who knows? Nothing to see here, folks. Illegal votes counted. Electors voted where they did not reside. 138,221 people voted in places they didn't live. And so this doesn't necessarily mean that these were out of states. These were in state, within state. So you're registered to vote in this county in this precinct, but you actually live on the other side of the state because you moved. But you still continued to vote in the wrong location. That's what this says. This is probably less... I'm less concerned with this number because these 138,000 people could certainly be legitimate voters who didn't mean to break any laws. They lived in Georgia before. They continued to live in Georgia. They didn't see the harm in what they were doing, per se. So, I'm not too concerned with this one, but it's still something that needs to be looked into. It's still not something that's supposed to happen in our election process. You're supposed to vote where you're registered to vote, not in a different county or a different city. If you live somewhere, you need to register there. Illegal votes counted. Out-of-state resident voting in Georgia. So 20,312 people who don't even live in the state of Georgia voted in the state of Georgia. Again, that's a number far exceeding the actual margin in Georgia. And then we have straight up people in Georgia who somehow managed to vote twice. 395 voted twice. And this is just according to Sean Bernard's limited look at the election process. This is one person and probably a small team with some funds, but not the unlimited fundage that the federal government has, who went in and found this many problems, this many errors by a small team, an outside team, doing the job that state governments should be doing. Georgia should have found this stuff out on its own. No, Georgia's been too busy sticking their head in the sand and pretending that there's nothing wrong to see here. Let's just accept the vote and move on. But you know, that's the world we live in. It takes outside citizens to actually hold the government accountable. Huh. Interesting concept in the United States. Citizens holding their government accountable? Yeah, I think that's what's supposed to happen, right? But if you turn on the news, mainstream media is going to tell you, oh, nothing to see here. All this stuff has been debunked. These are just a bunch of malfeasant lowlifes who are causing problems. Move along, move along. These are not the droids you're looking for, says mainstream media, as they're trying to Jedi mind fuck you. But hey, you know, who am I? I'm just some deadbeat on the internet. Anyway, this is my video for you today. Maybe it was a little more animated than some YouTube videos you're used to me having, but, you know, I've had a good day. I went shopping today, and I'm going to dox myself here. I live in a state, as a lot of people live in a state. I just happen to live in the state of Oregon, which is like living in the state of hysteria. Anyway, where I went shopping today, the grocery store didn't have any fucking bags. Not a single one. Not a paper bag, not a plastic bag, not a green bag, not an orange bag, not a not a garbage bag. You know, if I would have been thinking, I would have actually gone into the garbage bag aisle and bought a fucking garbage bag and then came back and bagged my groceries that way. I didn't think. But anyway, yeah, a grocery store, no bags. Got an entire cart full of groceries. Oh, sorry, we don't have any bags for you today. You gotta be kidding, right? And this bullshit's been happening since Oregon, the wonderful state that I live in, decided that plastic bags should be illegal to save the landfills. And then the stores started selling these reusable plastic bags for like 15 cents or something. These 10 times thicker, 10 times more worse for the environment bags, which it just basically turned into a bag tax. You bought the bigger, thicker bag, and now you just accepted the fact that because you live in this moronic state, you're now going to have to spend 15 cents times 8 bags every time you go fucking shopping, so that you can throw the 10 times bigger and thicker plastic bag into the landfill instead of the 10 times thinner plastic bag into the landfill. Because, you know, these Democrats, they fucking have this authoritarian douchebaggery mindset that we can fix everything through being idiots. You know, like California and its illegalizing fucking plastic straws bullshit. Anyway, that's got me riled up. And so, yeah, I'm riled up. This is my video. I'm going to cut it off here. Stop ranting. Anyway, I'm Jaames Johnson, aka Sulfur Blade. This is my content. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If so, please leave a like and subscribe. And until the next time, all, peace.